One of the great things about a Liquor Loot subscription is that you get sent whiskies that, frankly, you've never heard of. Never come across. And honestly, well, I've been on quite the learning curve with whiskey, and I learned that they make whiskey all over the world, including in Lannion in France. French whiskey? Sacre bleu. Well, I mean, I like champagne and croissant, so this can't be that bad, can it? Right? Let's see. This is Whisky Whiskey. I'm John Chidgey. Always remember to drink responsibly in moderation and where and when appropriate. Feel free to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and visit engineer.network/whiskey, without the E, to learn how you can support the show. Thank you. The Distilleries Warenghem in the Brittany region of northern France have been producing the, I think it's pronounced Armorik range, for over 25 years, including the classic variant that we have here. The distillery itself has been around a lot longer than that, though. It was first formed in mid-1900 by Leon Warenghem, focusing on liqueurs in its early years of operation. It moved and passed through different family members, making much the same things, until 1983, when the sales manager of the distillery at that time, Gilles Liazor, decided to launch the first 100% Breton and the first ever French whiskey. In 1987, they launched Whisky Breton, which was a blended whiskey, and that was a blend of 25% malt and 75% grain whiskey. Following their success in 1993, they built the first distillery in France that was dedicated to making whiskey, and in 1998, they started making Armorik. Warenghem uses traditional copper pot stills, and Armorik whiskey is double distilled. Their wash still has a 6,000 litre capacity, and their spirit still holds about 3,500 litres, with an annual capacity of about 150,000 litres of distilled spirit. So they're not tiny, but they're also not huge, so not in the megaliter club, I guess you could say. When you could get a bottle of the 700ml version of this from Dan's Marketplace, it cost 119 Australian dollars. If you want it now, you still can. You can grab it from Nick's online for $110 plus shipping. It has a 46% ABV. It's not chill filtered. However, it is coloured. It's part of Warenghem's core range of whiskies. Now, the Armorik Classic offering is described on their website like this. The result of maturation in bourbon casks of different ages, smooth, unctuous, and rich. Unctuous? Okay. Made from organic French barley and distilled in our traditional pot stills, a rich and fruity whiskey. Okay, well, that sounds interesting. This has won several medals, including a gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2014, a silver at the International Spirits Challenge in 2021, and silver as well in the International Wine and Spirits Competition. It was also in 2021. Now, the Armorik website has tasting notes, but they are in English translation, and the quality may be a little bit variable, but we're going to do this anyway. On the nose, it's intense and complex. Okay. The slightly spicy cereals come out first, to be followed by a touch of exotic fruits, mango and passion. Pretty sure that's supposed to be passion fruit, because passion's not a fruit I ever heard of. Anyway. Palate. Attack on fresh fruits. Attack them. Yeah. I'm sorry. Peach and apricot, apparently. Then beautiful sweetness with vanilla notes. Lightly toasted notes accompany the fatness and power of the whiskey. Fatness and attacking fruits. Interesting, okay. Translation, like I said, it's fine. Finish. Nice length, lively and warm with a hint of iodine. Alright, so let's have a look at the colour on this puppy. I would say that is a very light straw colour. Of course, the problem I have with this is that it is coloured, so, like, who cares almost. But just imagine how much lighter that must have been before they added some colorant. Interesting. But never mind that. Alright. Let's see what we get on the nose. Never tried this before. Okay, interesting. See, they describe this as intense and complex. I would not describe it that way at all. Could be a translation thing. I would describe this as being light and gentle, which is practically the opposite of what they say in their tasting notes. Definitely getting that some oaky spice, bit of vanilla, I think. It smells a little fruity, but not really that fruity. All right, let's have a taste of this. I'm very curious. Okay. Okay, the mouthfeel on this is it's very lightly creamy. I wouldn't call it oily, and it's not thin. It's only very lightly creamy. Which, it's not chill filtered, so I guess I'm expecting something like that. Oh, that reminds me. Look at the legs. Thick, fat legs running relatively quickly. So it's not a super oily whiskey. That's fine. It's got a pleasant enough mouthfeel, though, I've got to say. And I get the iodine on the finish now. Probably a moderate length. They call it lively and warm. I wouldn't call it lively. I'd certainly call it warm. I'd agree with warm. It is a nice, pleasant, warm finish, sort of thing that'd be nice on a cold winter's day, I would say. Got to get back to the palate. Sorry about that. Strong vanilla, definitely got that oaky taste to it, which is perfectly fine, of course. It almost, I can get on board with the peach, actually. I definitely get some peach out of this. It smells like it's slightly grainy, but I know it's not. They talk about cereal on the nose in their tasting notes, but maybe that's what they mean. Because it smells like it's got some grain in it, but I know it doesn't because it's single malt. I mean, it's not too bad. To be honest, it's not what I expected at all. It is light, it's very delicate, and it's really pleasant. But at the same time, it's not blowing my socks off. But then maybe it's not a blow your socks off kind of whiskey, and that's okay. You don't always want to have your socks blown off when you're having a sip of whiskey. Oh, I can get that passion fruit there, actually. I get it now. Yep. Might have to let this open up a little bit, before you get all of that fruit phlegm on the nose. Okay, so where does this sit overall? I mean, in terms of cost, obviously, given the price, it is a 2. It's affordable for good whiskey. But in terms of quality, I mean, it's not making me smile that much, not really. I'm going to have to give it a 2. It's a nice drink, fair enough, for some occasional variety, but it's not something that I'm going to reach for on a regular basis. And that makes it a yellow overall. So it's okay to have a few bottles in the yellow category just for something different. Ultimately, though, would I go and grab one of these bottles for myself? Probably not. Not necessarily quite so much my thing, and I already have a few in that category. So if I got one on a really good deal and I was running out of bottles in the yellow category, something different, but not too over the top, then maybe I'd grab one. But at this point, to be honest, I'm probably not going to rush out and grab one tomorrow. But that's okay. Not every whiskey has to blow your socks off. It's perfectly pleasant. And with that, cheers. See you next time. Yeah, it's nice enough.